Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. We're going to have a killer week of trading, but most important, I wanted to start out this live stream by telling you the most important word for me is patience. Planning is important, strategy is important, but patience is important. I follow a 5 minute rule when I'm going to buy an option or sell an option. I wait 5 minutes because I know I need to be more patient. So that's a key how I improve my trading. Remember, everything I want to do is not to pump a stock or pump an option. It's to help you be more efficient the way you trade. And yeah, I'll talk about the market and things of that nature. All right, so this morning I did want to talk about AMC because AMC seems to be popping a little this pre-market. Let me just see where it is, 7%. Now, what I wanted to mention is volume was light. I used our Discord channels to look at AMC to see if there potentially could be a squeeze if people got into the option plays knowing that AMC is going to pop this week. And I don't see that yet. So I could share that with you guys, and maybe I will a little later once we get into it. But let me tell you exactly what happened earlier last week. It's called an inflation rally. All right. It was a whiplash week. We were down, then we were up. Understand you had midterm results, which tells you that Congress is likely to be split. Senate Democrats, House Republicans, right? What that means is there's going to be a pullback in stimulus, meaning less inflation pressure. All right. Less inflation pressure means a quicker slowdown for the Federal Reserve hikes. Now, that's how last week ended. All right. Second, we had the CPI number that came out cooler than expected, which was predicted, which again is part of the inflation rally. Now, we're going to talk about what could potentially put a stop to this rally. Because understand, if the market or the Dow goes up another 2.5%, let's just say the market goes up 2.5% to start this week, that puts us in a bull case scenario. We're in a bull run. All right, literally 2.5% higher, and this is a bull market we're in, and we all know we're not in a bull market. That's why I'm skeptical, and that's why my word of the day or the week is patience, patience, patience. Whenever you trade, please show patience. So let's talk about what happened last week and then what to expect. CPI came out, and they came in at 7.7, which was 0.2% lower, which is exactly what I told Discord and I told the live stream was going to happen. How did the markets react? They shot up. There was strong volume for 2 days straight. So let me bring up the chart. Nothing better than looking at the chart. So here's the SPY chart. I got it nice and big. All right, so here was the selling volume. Now, as you can see, volume was pretty massive here, and we haven't seen a day like that. So the fact that we were going down leading into CPI made sense, and then you've seen some pretty good volume. These are the 1 hour charts. So this is a 2 day of what happened. There was a sell-off towards the end of the day. What does this make me think? Well, we still have this gap to fill here, but we also have a gap to fill here at 384. So I definitely think I'm definitely not a bull. I haven't flipped yet. I will gauge market direction. I will do day trades when I make my trade, meaning I'm looking for the worst or the best. Today, I'm waiting for confirmation of support or resistance, and then I will get into a trade, and I will not carry it overnight. That's me, in and out. That's my game plan this week. Now, I tell you guys, have a game plan, have a strategy. Mine is I don't trust the market. The market's extremely bullish, and somebody that's new to investment might say, I'm just going to ride the bullish side up. And yes, that's probably going to work out. Remember in 2020, you could have bought Tesla options every single day and returned like 50%. So yeah, as long as your strategy is working for you, my strategy is, man, I just don't trust this market. Volume was good, but what I showed you is the sell-off was 3 times more volume than the buying from Thursday and Friday. And some of these stocks have ripped 30%, 40% higher in a 2 day range. All right, so let's get into it. What could have happened? All right, so what happened with the rally? Did it really change the Fed's perspective on the market? Not really. If unemployment shoots up, then the Fed knows it's doing a good job. If jobs are still strong, then the Fed's still going to react pretty harshly. Now, again, we have PPI coming out tomorrow, which is extremely important as well. It measures just like CPI. And if that comes in hot for any reason, the market will likely dump. So again, me urging caution. What else could have happened on Thursday and Friday? Could have been short covering. I mean, we looked at Carvana, which I was a day early on. Carvana went down to $6. It popped up to $11. No stock moves like 90%. It was short covering. Same with Roblox. I mean, I could go off a list of stocks. Affirm, which had earnings the previous week, I think it popped 25% in one day. Plug was up like 19 or 20% for one day, 10 for the next day. So again, I believe short covering. We had a 14% move for the Dow in October, 6% for tech. Guess what happened last week? Last week alone for tech, and let's remember how last week started, tech was up 7%. 7% in 1 week for tech, which is extremely bullish, extremely strong move. But understand, nothing goes straight up. So people that were like, oh, my stock went up 25% last week. When it goes up 25% this week, it'll be at XYZ. Well, that's not going to happen. And then you'd be like, well, Matt, you tell me history repeats itself. Yes, but nothing goes straight up the same way nothing goes straight down, okay? So please, when I suggest locking in profits, please do that. All right, let's talk about the rates, because when the Fed announcement came out, and CPI came out, rates shot down like 50 basis points. The 2-year interest rate was corporations, banks, everybody loans and borrows money out. There's $22 trillion of corporate debt. It went from 4.70 to 4.32, making it cheaper to borrow money. When it's cheaper to borrow money, not only does that help corporations' balance sheet, but it means cheaper to borrow money to invest in the market. So when the market ripped off lower CPI, the rates went down, the market ripped higher. The US dollar, which was trading at 112 a couple weeks ago, is at 107 right now. So that's what I look at pre-market. In fact, you're all here with me. I'm going to look right now just to see if anything changed. The 2 years up to 4.40 right now, which is pretty substantial because that's 8 basis points from Friday's close, which puts pressure on the market. The 10-year, 388, 6.5 basis points. Again, the 2 years more important because companies borrow money. People borrow money. Then I'll look at the US dollar. Anything under 107, easy. And right now, 106.90. So it really hasn't moved. It looks like it wants to go higher. But again, if the US dollar spikes anytime during the day, 107.50, 108, it tells me downward pressure. So if you're watching the market, please have the US dollar on, 2 year, the 10-year, because if you see spikes, it's just telling you the market will catch up. All right. Okay, good. So we spoke about that. Let's see what else I wanted to talk about. Okay. Fed speakers all week. All right. We already had Hawker and Brainard come on and say things like the Fed is looking for a soft landing, but is still going to be aggressive, which is not good for the markets, which is why futures are a bit red. Then we have all that crypto debacle, right? Sam headed off to Bahamas. That's where they're located. FTX is in trouble. FTX was supporting themselves with FTT, which is another one of their companies. FTT was made up of FTT tokens, which supported, I don't know, a huge percentage of their company. That's like me creating Matt Bank and making Matt dollars payable. Would you like to invest in Matt? And funding myself with Matt dollars, just a made up currency. That's what that coin was. Yes, people believed FTT was a real coin. What else? Oh, Crypto.com. We all know them, right? They sponsor multiple events, F1. Crypto.com, 20% of their assets are in Shiba Inu. 20% of their assets are tied to a coin that does nothing. 20%. And people wonder why. There's no regulation. FTX makes up FTT coin. Crypto.com, Shiba Inu, right? FTX lent out half of their money to another corporation, which filed for bankruptcy. I mean, this is crazy. So regulation, I don't know. I don't own any crypto, nor would I want to right now. Okay, great. So let's talk about SPY ranges, right? Is that what I'm up to? A Tuesday, we have PPI numbers. Wednesday, we have retail sales numbers. There are other earnings coming out this week. You've got NVIDIA, which will control the chip sector. Okay, remember, I bought some AMD puts. I'm getting hurt on that position. And then 2 companies came out and they gave higher price targets on AMD. Now, I saw the movement. What am I likely to do? I have 4 contracts. I will probably hold a day or 2. I will probably base it on NVIDIA earnings. Now, if NVIDIA comes out and kills it, done. If NVIDIA does poorly, which I suspect, and cites supply issue problems, probably get a pullback. Probably the whole chip sector, which has been on fire, deserves a pullback. Remember, we're probably headed into recession in 2023. All right, let's talk about the SPY ranges right now. Crazy strong support in the SPY Thursday and Friday. I mentioned why. Inflation rally, short covering. Could it go higher? Yes. So we'll speak about the points of support and resistance. What does that mean? It doesn't matter if you're not trading the SPY, whatever stocks you're trading. If the market shows support at a certain level, so are many of your stocks. If you're in Tesla, it's going to show support. Amazon, support. Google, support. So you're looking at Apple. Everybody follows Apple because Apple controls, 7% of one of the indexes, 13.2 weighted percent of another index. So yeah, Apple moves NASDAQ. Apple moves the SPY. Apple moves the market. It's always good to follow Apple. What else is important about Apple? Know the ranges of Apple because it helps you trade the market. So before I talk about the SPY, I'll talk about Apple. Apple has a supply zone at 151. What does that mean? It means when Apple stock gets up to $151, based on historical information, the institutions, the hedge funds that own Apple will sell their shares, okay, at 151. Where is support? Well, I mentioned support when I got into those Apple calls. Support's at 135, and yes, Apple dipped under 135 previously to that. So 135 was support, 140 key number, 144. And what happened at 145? Apple blew right past 145 like it was no joke. So again, I'm watching Apple today to the top of my list. I'm watching 151 as a supply zone. Now, it means that Apple could definitely break the supply zone. But when it breaks the supply zone, same as on the SPY, it only breaks by like 20 or 30 cents. So if Apple goes to 152, I would be bullish Apple. If Apple gets rejected, which I expect, I might think about Apple calls at 152, 150, 150, something of that level. If it doesn't get there, then that's not happening today as far as a trading strategy. If you have questions, please ask them on the side. You can always let me know what you're thinking. Hey, what about Amazon? Here's what I was thinking. I always like when it's interactive and people say, here's what I'm thinking, not just, hey, Matt, what do you think? Because I'm not here to pump. All right, let's see. There is a question. Hey, quick question, Matt. Is there a gap? I see it 419 on the SPY. Let me tell you how difficult it would be to get to 419 on the SPY. It would have to be, you understand the market just shot up like a rocket, and then you're asking it to go up probably the same amount, like another 14, what would it be? 399, 419, 19 points, another 6% on the SPY. Yeah, that would be a ridiculous week. The Fed would have to come out and say they're not raising rates at all in December. So yeah, play the ranges. Don't look for home runs, okay? Don't look for home runs. If you're buying a SPY call and saying, like, that's all I can afford, a SPY 420 call, go out till December. If the SPY runs 8 points up, your call is going to be worth 200-300%. So don't pretend you can't afford it. You can, and you can be safe. You can go out a full month. You just have to look at the ones you can afford that are a month out. Plan accordingly. It's still pre-market, so you can look at all the information from Friday. Let's see. Do we have any other questions here? You're messing with Amazon. Going to be another great day. Okay, so let's actually bring up Amazon. Let me see if I can actually do that real quick. I should be able to because it's right here. All right, I'm looking at the 1 hour chart, so let's bring it up so everybody can see Amazon. Let's bring it up instead of me. All right, so here we go. Amazon, I've got the 1 hour chart. Oh, so this is funny because on earnings, which jumped, all right, they were buying. Then they were selling with strong volume all the way down to about 88, okay? Then when we gapped up for those 2 days straight, volume was intense last week, and I mentioned it right around this point. I think it was $93.50, and I said they're pushing higher. It went all the way to like 98, I thought, right? Where's 98? Right about here. Amazon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Amazon's going to move with the market. So, I was telling Carlos pre-market, and Carlos is the one that does everything back operations for us. But here's what it was. I was telling him pre-market, here's how I look at the market right now. And this is as honest and transparent as I can be. The market was extremely bullish on Thursday and Friday. Volume was extremely strong on Thursday and Friday. But when I compare it to a month or two of volume, it didn't wow me. Those 2 days were extremely strong, but it did not wow me. So that's why I'm hesitant on the market. However, you can't take a bearish position right this second, because what if we have a day like Thursday or Friday? You're going to be in the shitter. You're going to blow up your account. Your account will be dead. There'll be no trading on Tuesday. So the same way I suggested starting it off, patience. I'm going to see. Now, I mentioned over the weekend, one of my trading tips. I don't like to trade until at least 10:30 a.m. The reason why, the spreads between the bid and the ask are too wide. The reason is because we all see your stocks at open, whether it's Ford or Roblox or Coin. It's up here, then it's down here, then it's up here, then it's up here. So there's a lot of volatility. That's why the bid could be like $1.18. The ask could be $1.62. You put a price in the middle and you're like, I got a great bargain. But you didn't, because an hour later, it'll be like $1.09, $1.10. So please, safety. I like to wait until 10:30. I like when spreads are 1-2 pennies away from each other. It makes it more realistic. When the spreads are like $30, $40, not only do I have to be right, now spreads are wide if there's no volume. Another posting I made this weekend suggested if you're newer to options, newer to trading, you want to be in volume stocks. When you're not in volume stocks or volume options, what happens is when you want an entry, you're going to have to pay the ask, which is up here. When you're going to sell, you're going to pay the bid here. I just mentioned the spreads on high volume options are very wide. So sometimes it can be like 50 cents or $1. So you're buying it for $1. You can only sell it for 25 cents. You're just a loser going into the trade. So please, when you're looking to enter any trade, and I'm not telling you what trade because I'm not pumping, look for volume. Make sure there's open interest in the options that you're trading. Simple as that. All right, so let's get to SPY ranges, okay? I've got my SPY chart up. All right, let's go back 2 weeks to when the Fed spoke, 75 basis points. We dropped from 388 on the SPY to 374. Let me get it, actually. Let me get it so you guys can see with me. It's very flimsy. I don't know how much you could actually see, but I'm just going to show you. I'm old school. I don't use a whiteboard. I use, let's see, here it is. So, there we go. Okay. So we got the Fed here. We were 388, big drop off, little concave, right? Then we bottomed and we heard that CPI was light. And with CPI, we broke through the number. Now understand, seeing 399, and I will put this down now. Seeing 399 on the SPY is extremely important because there's a supply zone, a dark pool area right around 398. So when we sit on the SPY, and let me just see where we're sitting at the SPY. I got Amazon up now. SPY pre-market, 397.28. All right. So here's what I like to do at least once a day. I like to make a prediction. So based on the movement from Thursday and Friday, and yes, it's a bearish prediction, but this is another one of my strategies, how I'm going to play the market today. I happen to think the SPY at some point during the day is going to revisit the low on Friday, which is 393. So as we sit at 398.51 where we closed, and we're maybe down $1 pre-market, at some point during the day, I think the SPY is going to take a turn down and revisit Friday's lows. Now, will I base my whole account on that? No. Will I buy it market open? No again. What will I do? Show patience. Why? Because Thursday and Friday were extremely bullish, extremely good volume. I know that institutions and banks like to trade within the first 20 or 30 minutes of the day. So there's a chance open goes like this, tip, because we're opening, we're starting red, tip, spike. And if I want to get into SPY puts, I'm not going to buy them on the dip or something like that. I'm going to wait. So I'm going to just wait. What else? I know from my trading journal, and hopefully you all keep a trading journal. Trading journal just means every trade you do, you write down or you type into your computer. Here's what I did. I bought a Disney call. I paid $2. The least amount somebody paid was $1.68. So I missed the best entry by 15%, 15.5. I'll write that on my journal because trade after trade, as I see, I missed by 15%, I missed by 18%, I missed by 20%. The next time I go to buy an option, instead of paying $2, I'm like, I'm going to buy $2, $200. I'm going to say I missed by 18%. Boom, I'm going to set it lower. All right, so that's when we were. My trading strategy, I think the SPY is going down to 393, which isn't that bad at some point during the day. So I'm going to wait for a spike. That's what I'm going to look for. TQ December $20 puts. Yeah, I mean, hey, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a while. I remember you from Twitter. Yes, but here's the problem on that. The problem on that is, what if the market wants to be strong today? What if we dip it open, it gets bought up, and the SPY, now where could the SPY go to? 401 is the next level bullish, and then you have 405, where I would certainly expect it to reject. If somehow today was bullish and this week started bullish and we went up to 405, I would think rejection is inevitable. So yeah, I like the position you're talking about. However, you're going out, by the time you're done adding and averaging down, I know how you trade, you might have 54 contracts. Everybody else on smaller accounts, they can't afford $54 $100 contracts. So any thoughts on the Rivian puts? Yeah, Fredo. It's same. It's like Rivian, Roblox. They all went up significantly. I'm actually looking at Starbucks. I'll mention Rivian in a minute. I just want to get to the Starbucks first. Starbucks has been so bullish over the past 2.5 days. Same with AMD, so bullish. Rivian has been extreme bullish. It was up 17%, 8%, or 5%. So, I mean, Rivian needs an outflow day. So what would I like to do with Rivian? Since I'm still a bear in this market, I would roll those over. They expire on Friday. What I would do is I'd wait for a dip. I'd sell it. When Rivian spikes, I would buy out similar puts and I would go out an additional month because time needs to be on your side. People say, oh, I love trading 0 days till expiration options. That's the easiest way to blow up your account. The best thing to do is to always buy an extra week or an extra month. Pay the extra money. Buy one contract at a time. All right. Any other questions? Thoughts on the Rivian puts? You're right. So last question, really help you out. Stop loss on options. Should you calculate 5%? Okay. So here's the thing. It depends on which options you're playing. If you're on the SPY, 5% happens like that. 20% happens like that. So stop loss, and it depends what you're profit taking. Are you taking profit at 25% and 20%? So Romeo on our platform, who's been on fire lately and does live streams on our Discord, here's what he likes to do, and he'll maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but he takes profit at 25%, at 50%, he starts scaling down. On the losses, I believe he sets his stop losses at 20%, and I believe as his trade is turning green, he moves up his stop loss to not let it turn red. So you're giving yourself safety with the stop loss, but move it up as the option price goes higher. But as far as on the losing side, a lot of people like to exit out at 20%. Institutions, they like to sell their options when they're down 50%. Okay, that's a fact. Me, when I'm down 50%, I like to double down because I think my strategy is going to be correct. Any thoughts on Tesla or SPY high or low today? Okay, I'll give you a bull case scenario on the SPY high and low, a bear case scenario, okay? Bull case scenario is we see what we saw on Thursday and Friday, and there's buying every dip, and every dip for every stock gets bought, and everything's on sale. And the SPY, which is, what is the SPY at? 398. Maybe it dips to like 395, and then it goes all the way to 403 today. Bull case scenario, 395 on the low end, 403 on the high end. Bear case scenario, all of a sudden people say market went up too far, too fast, Thursday and Friday, it's going to consolidate, it's going to sell off. Then bear case scenario, 399, maybe 400 on the top side, and on the bottom side, I already said 393. So if I had to put a percentage on it, I'd say 70%. My mind is telling me I think we might top out at 400, 401, 400 flat, somewhere around there. I don't know. It could be 399 if it's a bear day. So I'm really looking to see rejection on the top. When I see rejection, I say, okay, if that's the top, then the bottom can easily be 393, and then I'll get into a bearish type position. All right. Other questions? Tesla, I would tell you more, but Tesla's tough because Tesla, Elon sold $3 billion worth, $1 billion worth, $1 billion worth. I think it was November 4th, 7th, and 8th. Since then, it bottomed at 182. So it's really tough because big institutional money will be like, I want to get into Tesla. I just know Tesla's going up from here. 182 is a great entry. 190 was an excellent entry. Now, the problem with that is somebody asked about Rivian. Rivian, Lucid, NIO, they're all going to move with Tesla. So if people think Tesla's bottom, they're going to buy Tesla. All these other EV car companies, including like Ford and GM, will probably go up as well. All right, so next question. Love questions. What are the indicators? Okay, so here's what I like to do, Mariano. The first thing I like to do is I like to look at the dark pool level of the SPY. And the dark pool level of the SPY, I think, is 401 is the next level. I didn't see a higher level, but I remember from previous, it was 405 or 404, like 98. So if I was looking for a rejection, first off, you're not looking for one rejection. The market's been so bullish on Thursday and Friday. You're not looking for the first rejection today and go, okay, puts right away. No, because the market's been so bullish, we could see it reject, come down, go higher. And when it goes higher, your entry-level position that you bought at 9:54 a.m. is getting shit on and you're getting crushed. So please, everybody, say it again with me. Patience, patience, patience. Also in my trading journal, my best trades are the ones that I enter in at like 2 p.m. I just know it for a fact. I see it because I put my entry time in my journal and I'm like, that was a winning trade. I made 98% in 1 hour. Whereas I hold from this morning and I was up 40%. Then I was down 30%. Then I was up 30%. Then I was down 15%. And it's stressful watching my position ride like an elevator. So patience, patience, patience. The longer you wait, the less you're paying for the IV, the less you're paying for the premium. And then you could be extra correct. All right. Any other questions? What do I think that gaps many stocks left on Thursday? Honestly, gaps get filled. So yeah, I know what happened on Thursday. The market exploded. And because it did, it still took that fuel and pushed even higher on Friday. And it still could be sputtering at market opening, be like, blah, 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 and still trying to go higher. If the company's not a good company and it left a huge gap, and I don't want to call any company out, but like, I don't know, maybe those pay it forward companies like or pay it first or pay it last or something like a firm, something like that. And remember, I took a firm down, made money, took a firm up, made money. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely gaps. I mean, Roblox is suffering, but Roblox made a nice move upward because people are investing in the future of these smaller tech. And when you look at those, you want to look at the Russell. So as far as all those other smaller companies, you would need the Russell to come back down to like 175, 174 for those companies to come back down. All right. Thoughts on AMD? Yes, I got 4 put contracts and I'm getting rocked in AMD. And I said to myself, okay, so what am I going to do with my 4 AMD puts? Well, AMD is actually up, 3%? Because 2 funds came out and they upgraded it 3.55%. Yeah, that's not a good thing. So, I mean, I would really need the market to take a turn. I would not sell on open this morning, nor would I average down. Because if today turns green and they start buying up the market, then I'm going to see AMD at 78. Okay. Now, if I see AMD on its way to 78, I'll sell my position. I'll take the loss. I'll just be like losing trade. Now, I've had 1 losing trade. Now, this might be the 2nd losing trade out of my last 18 trades. Not perfect, but I look and I'm patient for an A+ entry. So please, let's focus on that. So yeah, AMD, here's the other case about AMD. It can move. NVIDIA has earnings later this week. NVIDIA is number 1 in the chip sector. If NVIDIA disappoints, then NVIDIA is going to get rocked. If NVIDIA gets rocked, Micron will get rocked. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, will get rocked. STX will get rocked. Seagate Technologies. AMD will get rocked. So again, but you're fighting institutional money. Institutional money is buying into these companies. So that's where I'm perplexed sometimes. I know I'm right, but sometimes you can't fight big money, and that's the problem. Big money controls the market. 80, 90% of the money in the market is controlled by 10% of traders. 10%, that's it. So even you think like there's so many big money out there, there's not. The big money is very limited. I'm talking about extremely big. All right, any more questions? I'm ready to bet against crypto companies, Hood and Coin. Oh, off topic, my parlay won. 5-team parlay. I haven't bet in 8 months. I saw something. I put in $199 and I returned $2,800 on the bet. Some people want to reach out. They're more than welcome to reach out, but I don't do this every day and I stay away from it. It's just if I see something and I was like, this is clear, this is clear, this is clear. And I think I needed one miracle to win and it still, won. All right. Ready to bet against crypto companies. I'm not ready to own any crypto now. I sold all my crypto. I said the other day, if I was going to invest in crypto, I don't even know what platform I would invest in. Now my phone hears me say that, and because the AI programs for Apple, all of a sudden I start getting these crypto ads. Invest with Gemini, invest with this. I don't want to touch anything crypto. I don't want regulation in crypto because that's not what it's about. There's no honesty. There are computer hacks. There's people that run these companies. It's terrible. All right, I think we're good. I got to get back to Discord so we can do a little pre-market planning and activity. Discord's free. You get 7 days. Now, when you join Discord, you have to first verify yourself, okay? And then if you still can't see all the channels, you might have to log out and log back in. I've got some people asking me, and I'm like, dude, I'm not a technology whiz. So please log out, log back in. You should be able to see all the channels for 7 days, which is my channel that I mentioned, Love. Love is teaching. She's a professor. She just, the way she explains things are so good, and her trading's on fire. And then Romeo does like 2 or 3 live streams a week, and his live streams are 9:30 to 10:30 when I don't trade. So he's giving you 50%, 100% trades. It's on fire. And then, of course, Moo link below. If you want to make 40% and you're not into trading yet, you use the link below, deposit $100. You get a $10 coupon and then 5 free stocks. Don't trade until January. Your $100 will be worth $140 easy. I mean, you don't have to trade. So you're 20 years old, $100, $140. That's it. I don't know. Be safe. All right. I'll see everybody later.